Hi, I'm Liv. I'm here to tell you about our September fabric collection for a Thrifty Notion. Now, September is when we do our Halloween collection because you need a little bit of time at least to kind of get your costume stuff together for spooky season. So this collection will be at the top of the page of our Halloween collection. But then below that is going to be everything else that is Halloween related. So we have quilting fabrics, we have patterns for costumes, we have some books, things like that. Anything we have in the store that is Halloween related will be in this collection. But at the very top of the page will be these featured fabrics for the month. All right, so as you can see, we've got our little tags for all the upcoming months collections here behind me. These are not locked in, but they're kind of the vibe we're going for each month as we move forward. So this is a little behind the scenes, but this is like our staging area for all of our monthly collections. So this is previews of coming attractions. All right, let's get started. So first up, we have one knit fabric in this whole collection. It's called Soothsayer. It is just a t-shirt, like jersey knit, but it's been pleated. So it's kind of got these little ruffles on it, which makes me feel like it should be a dress. But what do I know? Maybe not. Maybe you are seeing a shirt. I don't know. But it is a little bit sheer and it's a pretty lightweight jersey. So nice drape on that one. And it is pretty stretchy. Not super stretchy this way though. So that is Soothsayer. Okay, next up we have silk. We have a little stack of silk here, but some really nice ones. This is just a small piece of vintage, so it is only 36 inches wide. It's not exactly satin, it's not exactly shantung. It's just kind of a plain weave silk, not super fluid. Again, sort of like a moderate drape. It's kind of just a medium fabric, medium weight, medium drape, and really pretty kind of moody purple print here on these florals. And this is called Petrified Poppies. Next up is just a black silk called Abyss, and it's almost like a lining. It's again kind of a matte finish silk. So if you wanted to line something like a skirt or a jacket in silk, this would be a nice option. Otherwise, it's good for just like a plain top, kind of like the one I'm wearing, which is a button-up silk shirt. I love a silk shirt. This is a silk organza called Moonless Night, and you can see organza is just light and floaty and sheer, so it's good for like an overlaying on another fabric, or you can line it, or you can just make a sheer blouse or sheer dress. Those are kind of a thing right now, but lots of things you can do with a nice sheer fabric. This one's called Goth Glam, and it's silk with a little bit of gold metallic running through it. It is a sheer, and just so you know, the first, I don't know, 8 inches or so have a little strip cut off where someone took a sample, but I don't think we included that in our official yardage, so that little bit is kind of extra added on. I would say go ahead and buy this whole piece because it's only 2 3/4 yards. More like 3 yards, but we didn't count that little quarter yard with the chunk chopped out. So that's Goth Glam. Our last silk is called Spectral, and it's more like a suiting, almost like a tweed or something. It's not quite a houndstooth weave. It's kind of a variation on a basket weave, I think. They do kind of look like teeth, these little half triangles of black and white. So more like a suiting. This one would be great for a jacket or a skirt, sort of business wear, or a pair of nice trousers would be really cute. Okay. This one's called Dark and Stormy, and it's a wool. It's a really lightweight, fairly sheer, solid black wool. So this is the kind of thing you could make a nice skirt out of, or even like a kind of a blousey kind of situation. It's not super itchy, so depending on how sensitive your skin is, it might be fine on your skin. Otherwise, something like this could also be used for historical costuming if you're trying to make like a wool petticoat. This is a nice weight for that. Usually what they would do, well, not usually, but sometimes what they would do is make the top part of the petticoat out of cotton where it's very gathered at the waist to just kind of make less bulk. and then do the strip of wool around the bottom edge to kind of keep your legs warm. So just a thought if you're doing historical costuming, although I will say there's only 2¼ yards of this, so maybe not enough to make a nice big petticoat. But hey, the history lesson was fun, right? I don't know. Wool, man, it keeps you warm. Dress for the weather and stuff. Then you don't have to set your thermostat so crazy, and you save the planet by wearing wool. It's good. It's thrifty. All right, next is this big old thing of wool, and this is a wool coating. This one's called From the Shadows. It is a nice, chunky, heavy coating weight wool. All right, I don't know if you can see, but it's a little bit felted. This is like a blanket. You could actually just make it a blanket. You wouldn't even have to hem it. You can just cut it. But very nice winter coat potential here. This is one where it would be really fun to play with some fun silk or fun lining to make like an interesting detail on the inside of the coat. Or a cloak. You could make a cloak out of it. Oh my gosh. The sheep are heavy. All right, let's play with the synthetics now. So first up, this one's actually a blend. This is a poly cotton blend. It was just a fun one, and it's very Halloween. It's kind of these dancing skeletons, and you can see, like, this is crispy. Pretty sure as soon as it gets washed, it's not going to be so crispy. But this is the kind of thing you can make a fun button-up out of, or some other fun Halloween project. It's called Dancing Skeletons. All right, this one's called In the Shadows, and it's a crepe back satin. So that means it's got kind of that fluid drape to it. One side is shiny and satiny, and the other side is more matte and has a crepe texture, which is just kind of slightly rough. Nice for formals, also for costumes. And this one is a synthetic. Then we have it's kind of a flannel. It's not quite flannel because it is a polyester or maybe an acrylic. It's synthetic, meaning plastic, but it's really soft and feels like flannel. It's a little bit chunkier than flannel. Really, this one would be great for like a button-up shirt. You could also use it for costuming. It's kind of got a nice, I don't know, Victorian witch sort of vibe going. So I love this olive green. Okay, this one's a stretch velvet, and it's called Nagini. It's this kind of snake print, cool looking fabric. It is stretchy. I guess I lied earlier when I said we only had one knit. This is also a knit. It's very stretchy. Doesn't stretch too much in the vertical, but it's a velvet texture snake print. So figure that out. You could do some stretchy legging kind of things or other costumey stuff with this one. Okay, we have two brocades in this collection. This one's called Eye of Newt. And it's a little softer, more of a sagey green with a paisley sort of print to it. These ones are a nice kind of chunky medium weight, and they are pretty opaque. You can't really see through them. So very nice for things like skirts or vests, waistcoats, those kind of things. And this brocade is called Swamp Flower. It's a little more colorful, but again, good for skirts and waistcoats and just fun, kind of formal, fancy looking things. One little bit of lace here called Dark Veil, and it's just a lace fabric. So extremely sheer for doing overlayment. Overlayment? Underlayment is a thing. Is overlayment a thing? Underlayment, overlayment. I don't know. Anyway, to put over other fabric or to just wear sheer, depending on how saucy you're feeling. All right, I was just really way off. We have a lot of stretchy knits. Now, okay. See what's happening here? This glitter that's printed on here sticks to itself. So keep that in mind. But this has been sitting on a shelf kind of smushed together. When you're wearing it, it's not going to be an issue. But it does have glitter, and the glitter does come off. So you've been warned. But this is another stretch velvet. It's been getting glitter all over the place. I actually kind of like that, but I know a lot of people are very anti-glitter, so I'm sorry. All right, so fairly stretchy horizontally. Actually, it stretches in both directions, so you could do leggings or something very form-fitting with this, and it would be a lot of fun. That one's called Cryptic Runes. This plummy fabric is just a crepe a polyester crepe. So more of a formal kind of fabric, and it's got glitter on it from the other fabric. We will try to lint roll that off before we send it out to you. But you can see it's extremely fluid and it's wonderful for things like formal dresses. And this one's called Esoteric, just kind of one piece here, but lots of potential. All right, this is just a crinkle sheer, like a chiffon, but it's all crinkly. Called it pudding grass. I was looking up alternative names for herbs because like Eye of Newt is actually the name of an herb. All of those old potions that sound like they have weird body parts in them are usually just different names for herbs. Interesting, that stuff. But anyway, I don't remember what regular plant this is talking about, but pudding grass is an herb of some sort. Nice and sheer and fluid and fun and floaty. Great for costuming. So everything that's left is my natural fiber little friends, mostly cotton. So this one is an amazing woven. Probably from India is my guess. It's just a nice medium weight cotton, really lovely purple. And you could use it for quilting. It's chunky enough for that, but it's also just, it would make a really nice shirt. I think that's what I'd do with it. Then we've got some cotton lawn. They're just a lightweight woven cotton that's nice and breezy and kind of sheer and floaty and pretty. Really nice for things like gathered dresses. Just gorgeous for that. So this one's called trefoil. I don't know. It's just pretty. Very slightly sheer on this and a nice light fluid draped cotton. Love a cotton. This one is called Hidden Signs. Again, floaty, fluid drape. Really nice for when it's hot out for things like sundresses and stuff, but then also you can take those same dresses and layer them up for cooler weather. It just works for lots of things. This one's a little witchy. All right, this is just fun. So this is a cotton twill, kind of a pants fabric, but it's a pinstripe in velvet. So these stripes are fuzzy, it's flocked. So it's like little velvet stripes on that cotton twill. Excellent for anything that looks like a suit, like a waistcoat, a vest, trousers, jacket. All would be super cute out of this. And I called it Gomez because that's the vibe it's giving, but we love a pinstripe. This one's called Atomic Visions. It is a reproduction. This is a bark cloth. It is not actually old like this print would suggest. It's a reproduction bark cloth. So this is good for home deck, but you can also wear it. You could make a dress. You could make some fun pants out of this. All kinds of potential. It's just kind of a medium weight cotton that's woven with a nice texture to it. And our last piece is called Dragon's Wort. Again, looking up herb names. Linen, our one piece of linen. Love this fluid drape. This is a nice chunky medium weight linen. Excellent for some like nice floaty wide leg trousers or a skirt or even a dress or blouse. Really lots of stuff. You can make lots of stuff out of this. Super, super versatile. And that is our final fabric for this collection. Happy sewing.